Well, good morning. Well, perhaps it isn't such a good morning. It's raining, and I'm taking the dog on one of her usual walks. And what I've noticed in this last few years that I've been coming up here is just how dense and tall the vegetation has become. And it's not the kind of thing you'd notice one year, but if you come regularly, it becomes more obvious. Now, in this area here, there used to be wild violets growing, early dog violets, and there haven't been any this year because they've been completely crowded out by the densely growing grasses and hedge parsley and other things in this area. And everything seems to be going really tall with big leaves like these nettles here. The leaves are about 4 or 5 inches long. The plants are about 3 feet tall. That's not particularly unusual, but it does seem to be a general impression that you get is that there are more green plants growing. They seem to be growing bigger, and they're certainly coming into leaf and growing, developing earlier. So I think there's, certainly in Britain, there's a real sign that plants are getting bigger and they're growing more luxuriantly, and certainly we've been having plenty of rain in recent years, which has encouraged the growth of green plants. And if there are any negative effects of climate change in this country, they're not easily seen. In fact, it seems more likely that any effects are positive rather than negative, because they encourage plant growth. I mean, look at this grass here, it's enormous. The flower heads are enormous, the grass is tall, more nettles, everything blooming in abundance. So things are looking good here as far as plant growth is concerned. And I don't know whether there will be any heat waves this year, but at least I am prepared for them. But what certainly there is evidence for is for the greening of the earth. And I wanted to show you a paper that's been published this year, built up on the work of a number of people, mainly in China. Most of the work on the greening of the earth, or the increased number of green plants, has been done by Chinese authors. There you can see over the meadow, it's covered in hedge parsley or cow parsley, and that seems to be a plant that's become more abundant in recent years. The brambles here are growing very tall. You can see the dog roses there, looking wonderful really. Anyway, I'll stop here and join you in a few seconds. Welcome back, and this paper was published just a few months ago in 2024. CO2 with combined heat and drought stresses on the physiology and yield of C3 and C4 plants. The yields of many plants are increased in increasing CO2, so you'd expect to see larger plants in a CO2 rich environment that we have increasingly. Thanks for watching.